It often begins with two people who adore each other. Still, the relationship fails. What starts off as deep love often ends up in hate. We get together with someone who seems like the perfect partner, but after a few months or years, they cause us the deepest amount of pain. Wondering why this happens? Let's find out. Hey everyone, this is Chetna and you're watching ChetChat. It's a Friday and today we are talking about the 5 biggest relationship mistakes that can destroy any relationship. Mistake number 1, lost in translation. Have you ever been in a relationship where you may have cooked a special meal for your partner or gone out of your way to source their favorite perfume or even dressed your nattiest best, but your partner didn't even notice? Or remember the time when you cleared up the day to ensure that you would spend the entire evening with your mate and they came back late from work and could not understand why you were so upset? Have you ever felt that your partner showers you with gifts only to cover up for the fact that they do not have enough time for you? Or have you felt frustrated at why your partner will never get up to make a cup of coffee for you even though you take care of all the laundry and cleaning? The first big relationship mistake is that we misunderstand each other's needs. Let me give you a small rule book that will help you understand your partner and also help you stop making these huge relationship mistakes. Gary Chapman, in his book The 5 Love Languages, says that everyone has a love language or a few love languages, the way they receive and express love in a relationship. The first language of love is words of affirmation. Compliments, words of praise, cute texts, and kind words of appreciation. You can make this person's day by complimenting them or pointing out what they do well. And if you talk rudely or brush them aside, they feel offended. The second is giving and receiving gifts, where they value not only the gift itself, but also the time and effort that you have put into it. They will keep picking up thoughtful little knickknacks and even remember each gift you gave them. The third language of love is acts of service. Nice things you do for your partner that make them feel loved and appreciated, such as helping with the dishes, making tea, or picking up bread on the way back home. If your partner's main love language is acts of service, they'll notice and appreciate the little things you do for them. The fourth language of love is physical touch. These people feel love through physical affection. They like it when their partner holds their hand or touches their arm. Their idea of a perfect date might include cuddling on a couch with a glass of wine and a good movie. The fifth language of love is quality time. "You're not listening to me," is what they will say if you look at your phone during a conversation. They want undivided attention. This means putting down the cell phone, turning off the computer, making eye contact, and actively listening. So pause this video and think about what your love language is and what your partner's love language is. Write it down in the comment section and share it with me. And now that you're aware of these different languages, discuss it with your partner. In fact, sit down with your partner and re-watch this video. The big mistake here is that we do not see the love behind the other person's language. So try to appreciate their language and also make them aware of yours. The best relationships are the ones where partners use multiple languages to show their love. I have one question for you before we move on to mistake number 2. Is financial transparency between partners an issue? Do you think there are mistakes that we make related to sharing of financial information and generosity that could also be classified as a big relationship mistake? Write to me and tell me your thoughts, and maybe we will have one episode later dedicated to this. Mistake number 2, ownership versus relationship. Have you been in a relationship where your partner starts influencing your choices, stops you from following your passions or taking on new opportunities because it comes in the way of their time with you or in the way of their own priorities. They want to have a say in who you go out with and when, who you text and why, and even whose Instagram profile you're following. They control you by telling you that they're protecting you or teaching you about the world. And the irony is that you might even mistake this for love initially. It does appear like love, but soon this kind of possessiveness will choke the relationship. Remember that when they truly respect you, they will respect your choices, your values, and even you, even if you are different from them. The most important factor in a relationship is not communication, but respect. I will share my simple trick that will help you develop respect for your partner. Take a diary and write one good thing about them each day. Try writing something different, even if it's a small thing like they picked up the dishes today. Appreciate the small things. These are the most important and much more important than a grand birthday gesture. And if you're having a bad day, just pick up the diary and remind yourself of all the good things in the relationship. How about you tell me what special efforts you put into your relationship? And before we move on to mistake number 3, it is shout out time. I would like to give a shout out to Krishna Agarwal for leaving this message under my last video. And if you also want a shout out in my next video, leave me a comment below with a hashtag ChetChatters. Mistake number 3, transaction versus relationship. If you go out with your friends on Sunday, then next weekend I too will go out with my friends and leave you alone at home. How familiar is this? Many relationships become a trade, a transaction. You come for my cricket match and I will go for your fashion show. Why do I have to always call you? You never initiate a call. Why do we always have to meet when it is convenient for you? You were rude, I will be rude. You didn't pick up my call, I won't pick up yours. People go out of their way for their partner, make a sacrifice, and then spoil it all by reminding the partner that they have done all of this for them. In a way, making the partner pay for it. And to top it all, we feel that they don't value our sacrifices, but maybe they didn't even ask for it. Don't be a copycat. This is not a transaction. This is not a partnership. This is a relationship. And by the way, if you're able to relate to any of these mistakes, share your experiences with me. Mistake number 4, the elusive perfect partner. Does your partner keep telling you that you need to lose weight, work harder, become more successful, take some public speaking classes? Many times in relationships, we are just looking for that perfect partner. The one that doesn't talk rudely, doesn't cheat, doesn't get fat, doesn't sit on the side at a dance party, doesn't lie, and doesn't exist. In return, we try to live up to their expectations or give up on them. And while we are trying to get better for them, we end up becoming bitter because of them. I have learned that one way to deal with this is to try to understand why they are the way they are. So one time, my partner hated waiting for anyone. Even if it was 5 minutes, they would flare up and lose their cool. I naturally found it unreasonable, and it would end up as, okay, you carry on alone, I'll come once I'm free. I started judging them, but one day while talking, I learned of a backstory of how when they were young, they went through an experience of having to wait repeatedly over a long period of time, and there was some hurt associated with it. And then I realized that it was not their fault. Maybe there is a backstory, a childhood incident, something that has made them this way. Understand instead of judging. Mistake number 5, codependency versus relationship. Another big mistake in relationships is that we make someone our everything, our purpose, our passion, and we lose parts of ourselves. We give up our plans, shift houses, friends, give up jobs, everything. And now they rule our mood, feelings, it all. And guess what? They are bound to let us down. No one can carry such a huge responsibility. this is a setup for failure. We need to strike a balance to make them feel important and loved, but keep your routine, have your own life and friends, keep our own purpose and passion, and find that balance between time together, time alone, time with your own friends, time with common friends. Balance is everything, after respect, that is. And before I give you my bonus tip, let me summarize the 5 biggest relationship mistakes. 1. Not understanding their love language. 2. Trying to own the partner and their choices. 3. Treating relationships like a trade. 4. Trying to make your partner get better. And 5. Being too dependent on them. And now for the bonus tip. The bonus tip is love yourself. To love someone, you first need to love yourself. Be a happy and satisfied person. Don't look for the partner to complete you. A healthy relationship requires 2 healthy people. Be completely happy with yourself first. Share laughs and jokes and remind yourself why you fell for this unique and wonderful person. And that was not because you were a snowflake. I hope this helps you forge lasting and loving relationships, because a relationship, after all, is 2 imperfect people refusing to give up on each other. And in the meantime, press that subscribe button and the thumbs up, and see you next Friday.